Hello music fans, are you wondering what's coming out in metal, rock, and prog in the month of October? Well, I've got a list of albums for you, so stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. And comment down below if I missed anything that you know of that's coming out that you think I'll enjoy. And hit that subscribe button as well if you want to hear my reviews and first impressions of these albums the week they come out. I post those weekly. So let's just jump right in. There's a lot of albums to talk about, so I'll try to go pretty quickly. October 1st, we have Chester Thompson releasing Wake Up Call. This is kind of jazz fusion. It's got some progressive rock influences. It's the third solo album by this American drummer. He played with so many amazing acts such as Frank Zappa, Weather Report, Santana, Genesis, Phil Collins. He also has a jazz group called the Chester Thompson Trio. It's great to hear him drumming so amazingly at 74 years old. He's also now a member of the great progressive rock band Unitopia, who put out a stellar album earlier this year. So this album is going to be Chester. It's kind of more on the jazz side. It's got a focus on the drums. It's instrumental, features a lot of great performances by different guitarists on different tracks. On October 6th, one that I'm really excited for is The Deer Hunter with Migrant returned. And this is progressive rock with indie rock influences, and it's a reimagining of the fifth album by this great American band. As much as I'd love them to kind of focus on new material, it is cool for them to reimagine some old material as well. The same day, October 6th, Trevor Rabin is releasing Rio. This is more of a kind of straightforward rock album, I think, but it's got some progressive influences, maybe some pop influences as well. And it's the sixth album by this South African musician who's well known for his time as the guitarist of Yes in the 80s and early 90s when he replaced Steve Howe. And the singles that I've heard from this, the first one I thought was okay, but the second one I really enjoyed, so I'm looking forward to this. And also on October 6th, Roger Waters is releasing The Dark Side of the Moon Redux. This is kind of psychedelic progressive rock, but obviously it's a reworking of the classic Pink Floyd album Dark Side of the Moon by just Roger Waters, so all the vocals are going to be him, and it's all kind of like a stripped down, like old man grunting kind of versions of the song from what I've heard. I guess this is Roger Waters' fifth solo album, or maybe his 11th if you count things that aren't his main releases, if you count things like soundtracks he made, and opera he made, and other random recording sessions he did. But this is, yeah, like I said, going to be a stripped down version of the classic Pink Floyd album, Dark Side of the Moon, one of the best selling albums of all time. I'm not sure why he feels the need to make a new version that's just him kind of stroking his ego, maybe looking for some more money. I don't know, I love Dark Side of the Moon, so I guess I'll check this out, but I'm a bit worried. It sounds a little bit weird from what I've heard so far, so I don't know if he's going to do it justice, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also on October 6th, Mice and Men is releasing Tether. This is metalcore, and it's the 8th album by this American band. There's one of their albums that I listened to way back that I really like, but I totally forget which one that was. I haven't kept up with everything they've done, so I've probably slept on a few of their albums. I don't know if they're any good anymore, but I remember one of their older albums being pretty good, and I used to enjoy it like a decade ago, so I figure I'll check this out and see if they're still making some good metalcore music. October 6th as well, Apotheus is releasing Ergo Atlas. This is progressive metal, third album by this band from Portugal. I've never listened to an album by them, so not sure what to expect, but prog metal, so I'm going to check it out. Also on October 6th, Jordsjo is releasing Salighet. This is progressive rock, and it's the 7th album by this Norwegian band. I heard the early release singles for this, and they sound really awesome, so I'm excited to hear this full album. And still going with October 6th, there's three more that come out this day that I'm interested in. Fortress Under Siege is releasing Envy. Another progressive metal. This one's kind of more progressive power metal, maybe with some heavy metal influences. It's the fourth album by this Greek band. I just listened to one of the early singles and it sounds pretty cool. And the Winter Machine is releasing the Clockwork Man. This is kind of neo-progressive rock. It's the fourth album by this band from the UK. Never heard an album by them before, so not sure what to expect, but have to put it on the list because it's Prog. And Tiger Moth Tales is releasing Turning of the World, another kind of neo-progressive rock album, and it's the 8th album by the solo project of Pete Jones, who lost his sight at an early age but quickly became a competent and successful musician. Now onto the releases for October 13th. Oni is releasing The Silver Line. This is progressive metalcore, kind of djenty groove metal. It's the third album by this Canadian band, and I heard an early release single that features Howard Jones on co-lead vocals. Howard Jones, of course, of Killswitch Engage fame. That got me really interested to check this out. That early single was pretty awesome. So excited to check this out. Metric is releasing Formentera II. This is more indie rock with new wave, post-punk, synth-pop influences. The 9th album by this Canadian band. Female vocals, pretty cool. Looking forward to that. And 2 more albums coming out on October 13th. Beartooth is releasing The Surface. This is kind of more like hardcore punk, got some metalcore, hard rock, maybe even some pop punk influences with those catchy choruses. And it's the 5th album by this American band. And the last album for October 13th is by Crosses, and it's called Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. Interesting album title name. This is an electronic album, kind of electronic rock, maybe some dream pop, dark wave, and witch house, according to Wikipedia. Don't ask me to define witch house or dark wave, but I think like if you can kind of just picture what those words sound like, and that's probably what this will sound like. And it's the 2nd album by this American duo that's a side project of the Deftones singer Chino Marino and Far guitarist Sean Lopez. On October 20th, we have a lot of awesome stuff. Lalu is releasing The Fish Who Wanted to Be King, which is a progressive metal album. It's their 4th album. They're a French band, and I love everything they've done, so I expect this will be great. Blink-182 are some old-timers still playing some pop punk. They're going to release One More Time. This is pop punk with alternative rock influences, and it's their 9th album. They're a well-known American band. Of course, everyone knows Blink-182. Interesting to hear them still going strong. And also October 20th, I've got 6 more coming out that day. The Callous Dowboys are releasing God Smiles Upon the Callous Dowboys, an EP. This is mathcore, and this is an excellent mathcore band from the US. I heard the single Wacko Jesus, and it's pretty awesome. It reminds me of the Dillinger Escape Plan, but it's even catchier than most Dillinger songs, to be honest. And Galahad's releasing The Long Goodbye. This is progressive rock. Hard to say how many albums this band from the UK has done. Prog Archives has this as their 15th. Rate Your Music has it as their 16th. Wikipedia shows even more albums still. I've only listened to their last album, actually, The Last Great Adventure from 2022. I enjoyed it, but it didn't blow me away. Maybe this one will. We'll see. Ozric Tentacles is releasing Lotus Unfolding. This is more like psychedelic space rock. It's got some progressive influences, and it's the 17th album, or the 23rd album if you count their 6 first cassette-only releases that they did. And District 97 is releasing Stay for the Ending. This is progressive rock, the 5th album by this American band. This has powerful female vocals by Leslie Hunt, who is an American Idol finalist. Great to hear someone from that world, a world that usually focuses on simple pop music, working in a prog band afterwards. You don't see that too often, but that's pretty cool. Rival Sons is releasing Lightbringer. This is hard rock with blues influences, and it's the 8th album by this American band. The Rolling Stones, another bunch of real old timers here, releasing Hackney Diamonds, and this is pop rock with blues influences, the 24th album by this English band. On to October 27th, we have King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard releasing their second album of the year. These guys keep really busy. This one's called The Silver Chord. It's who knows what genre it's going to be, but it's their 25th album. This great band from Australia, you never know what they're going to put out. Almost all their albums have a different style and genre, ranging from psych rock to prog, thrash metal to dream pop to electronic to jazz fusion, and we'll see what this album has in store. Their previous album this year was more of like a thrash metal, prog metal album, so who knows? I think this will, from the looks of the picture, I think it'll be like maybe synthy and electronic, have more keyboard focus. Closure in Moscow, also on October 27th, is releasing Soft Hell. This is, I guess, prog rock, but it's very poppy and alternative and indie inspired. And it's the third album by this Australian band. I saw them live opening for Protest the Hero. They were very entertaining. If you're a fan of the Mars Volta, check this out. They're kind of like that, but they have a more indie pop rock vibe to them. Glass Hammer's releasing Arise. This is progressive rock. They've got some doom metal and psychedelic and space rock influences thrown in there. It's the 21st album by this American band. Pattern Seeking Animals is releasing Spooky Action at a Distance. This is prog rock as well, the 4th album by this American band. They're a great band, looking forward to that. Immortal Guardian is releasing Unite and Conquer. This is progressive power metal, the 3rd album by this American band. Poppy is releasing Zig. This is probably going to be like more of a pop rock album from the singles that I've heard so far. She's very diverse though, so you never really know. Like, there's going to be the odd like metal scream in here, electronic stuff, industrial, alternative, grunge, punk metal, shoegaze, lots of experimental stuff in here. Interested to see what she does. This is the 5th album by this American singer-songwriter, and she's made some eclectic and interesting stuff in the past, so I always check out everything she puts out. Sky Empire is releasing The Shifting Tectonic Plates of Power, Part 1. This is progressive power metal with hard rock and heavy metal influences. It's the 2nd album by this band from the UK. It features the amazing Jeff Scott Soto on lead vocals. He sang with Ingrid Malmsteen, Journey. He's also the current vocalist of Sons of Apollo and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. If you're a fan of Symphony X, check this out. These vocals have that Russell Allen power behind them. There's great neoclassical shredding guitar, great keyboards. Then I'm going to check out Taylor Swift and her album 1989, Taylor's version, just because it's a really big pop album. Got that country, folk, and rock influence thrown in there, maybe some synthy stuff on this particular album. This is part of her re-recording series. It's the 4th album that she's re-recording so that she can own the masters rather than, I forget who owns them, but she's trying to stick it to the man here. So good for you, Taylor. I don't really usually like listening to her full albums from start to finish because I kind of find them boring, but every now and then they have like there's some pretty good songs in there. And then they kind of just all sound the same to me though, so that's my complaint. But I always like to check it out just in case it ends up being good. Fish on Friday is releasing 8mm. This is progressive rock, the 6th album by this Belgian band. I've never listened to a full album by them before. The singles sound good though. The Guru is releasing Make Less Babies, and this is alternative art rock with indie rock and math rock influences. The 3rd album by this Belgian band, not to be confused with the German krautrock band that has the same name. And that's it for albums that I have on my list to check out that are coming out in October 2023. Hopefully some of these sound interesting to you. Which one of these are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments, or let me know if I missed anything. And like I said at the beginning, hit that subscribe button if you want to see me post a video every week where I give my first impressions of these albums that I mentioned today, and maybe some others that get put on my radar by friendly commenters or other YouTubers posting reviews that I check out. And that's it. Until next time, peace out.